Hello, I'm Bill Dabbs, and I'm president of the University of Tennessee Pride of the Southland Marching Band Alumni Council. I'm happy to be doing this video today for y'all as part of the Alumni Facebook Live series. We're really excited to have homecoming approaching us rather quickly. I'm really proud to be part of this organization. I've actually been on the Alumni Council for about 5 years now. I marched with the Pride back in, 2003 to 2006. I played the trumpet and went away for a little bit, got back to Knoxville, and have really found a really great organization to be part of in this Alumni Council. We do a lot of different things. Our mission is to support the directors, the band, represent our alumni, serve the university, and we do that in a lot of different ways. There's 15 members on the council. We serve 3-year terms, and we actually have representation from, I believe, all the way back into the early 70s. Most every year is covered. So chances are, if you've marched with the Pride in the last 40 years or so, someone you know is actually serving you on this council. Our biggest event is probably homecoming. That's the thing that we plan for really year round. I'll talk a little bit more about that process here in a little bit. One of the things I think that we're most proud of probably over the past decade has been helping Dr. Ryder, the other directors, Brian Hardy with the development office, in raising scholarships for our band members. Some of you might not know that most of the Pride of the Southland marchers are actually not music majors at all. They come from all across the university, engineering, arts and sciences majors, ag majors, you name it, they're all represented in the Pride. And a lot of those kids give a significant amount of their time and energy and talent above and beyond all the other scholastic things that they're doing. And Dr. Ryder, has really made an effort of raising scholarship dollars so that we can give service scholarships to each individual marcher. I'll admit, 15 years ago when I was in the band, that was not a thing. And we are so proud to be able to do that now for all of our marchers. It's cumulative. So if you've marched 1 year, you get a certain dollar amount, 2, 3, 4, it adds up quite nicely for our senior marchers. And it's just a small thing that we can do to really thank them and support them as they give to our university and the wonderful work that the Pride of the Southland does. Some of the other things that we do as an organization throughout the year, typically we have a networking event. Again, most of the band members are not music majors. And so we have a network of alumni in all different types of career fields who will come and mentor, connect with those students, try to get them, internships and connections into their chosen field, and support the band at large in that capacity. We also sponsor the alumni pullovers. Part of the tradition of the Pride is certainly our uniforms, and the fact that when you see the band march, you're going to get really the same experience year after year after year. And we hope that we do that as well with our alumni band returning at homecoming every year. And so part of that, and to encourage our younger alumni to participate, we actually gift them the pullover part of the uniform so that there's no hindrance to them in their first years out of undergrad as they're starting their careers and coming back and participating in our organization. We host a senior luncheon, typically around the orange and white game every year, to help celebrate their career and all that they've given to the Pride and welcome them into the alumni fold. We've got about 4,000 living alumni, I think a little bit over that, which is really a phenomenal number. That goes back, some of the folks I've talked with in the past couple of years have been as old as having marched in the 40s with Dr. Ryba. Actually, this was well before Dr. Julian's time. And there's certainly groups and passionate individuals from each of those decades who have ample stories to tell. And it's always fun to reminisce and hear how the band was in those days. It was still quite an old band at that time, even 50, 60, 70 years ago almost. But it's fun to hear kind of how things are different now, but also how a lot of it is still the same. Homecoming, again, is really one of our biggest events. And 2 years ago, hopefully, most everyone was aware, whether you were part of the band family or not, that we celebrated our 150th anniversary. It was quite a big event for us. We actually predate the football team and Neyland Stadium and a lot of other traditions here at the university. And it was fun to celebrate all 150 years of our history at that time. As part of that, we pushed and pushed and pushed, and we got as many alumni as we could wrangle to come and join us for homecoming that year. In normal years, we've got somewhere between 400, maybe 500 pushing alumni who return to march with the band at homecoming. That year, we almost cleared 750, and we had something like 1,100 marchers on the field at halftime. As far as I know, that is the biggest halftime performance that's ever been attempted or accomplished. And it was certainly an experience that I don't think I'll forget anytime soon. And I can't imagine any of the other folks in attendance would. We're hopeful, with those numbers, as we keep increasing and pulling alumni into this great organization, that we can keep recruiting and having big alumni bands return every year. Part of that is advertising and getting the word out, and most of it though is kind of you come and experience what a great time homecoming really is. It's a time when we can sit around, swap stories from the quote unquote good old days, support the current band, get to know them a little bit. I'll admit, when I was a marcher, I always thought homecoming was possibly one of the funnest days of the year because so many folks came back. They could still play down the field in Rocky Top. And it was just a really neat experience talking and hearing about those stories and really the ties that bind us through generations of the traditions and just the fun and camaraderie of being in the band. So we hope, folks have a good time when they're with us. They come typically, and now this year's a little bit different because of COVID protocols still, so we won't be marching at halftime. But this year we're going to be marching to the stadium. So we'll be in the parade, accompanying the pride through the salute to the hill and into the stadium. And we'll be sitting alongside them in the stands, hopefully playing Rocky Top a lot as we beat the Georgia Bulldogs. And so, we won't get to march this year, and that's unfortunate, but we're really excited to get to do all the other stuff and get back to a sense of normalcy after last year when we had to unfortunately postpone homecoming, at least our involvement. Last year would have been the 50th anniversary of our alumni band. So this represents our 51st year. And as far as I know, there are folks who have been marching with it for, I think, 40 plus years consecutively. So there's pretty good tradition, even in our alumni band, as much as the regular Pride of the Southland band. A lot of people, get in touch with me or our fellow council members and ask how they might be able to get involved. We have, again, those events kind of throughout the year that, you can certainly ask, and hopefully we'll signpost and recruit you into those events. I think the biggest way to get involved, though, is truly preparing for homecoming. In other years, that is quite an undertaking, and most of that revolves around the actual marching at halftime. And so we have to close registration fairly early so that Dr. Ryder and the other directors can actually create the charts for the however many number of folks are coming to join us. And so that's why registration typically closes earlier in the season in past years. So once the charts are made and and the numbers are assigned and we've got registration closed, that's when the real work begins. So that involves getting a group of people together to look through the charts. We highlight all the numbers. We try to make it as simple as possible so that when marchers show up on homecoming, they know exactly where they're supposed to go on the field. Sometimes it's been years or decades since folks have actually picked up a horn and tried to march 8 to 5. So it's a little bit difficult to step back into it. So we like to make that as easy as possible. We also make flip folders, and so that will have all the music down the field, Five Falls Fight, Rocky Top, that we play kind of throughout the day, but also the music for the halftime show. We also typically have a t-shirt and some other swag that goes out. And so there's organization and getting all of those things compiled and ready to hand out on homecoming day. We typically spend probably 4 evenings the month leading up to homecoming preparing for that. So if you're interested in doing that next year, certainly reach out. We would love to have you involved and kind of grow our organization even more. One of the best ways to stay in touch with our organization is to follow us on Instagram, on Facebook. We've got a Twitter account too. We try to support the band and make announcements so our alumni know, what the time of the game day activities are, and what, in basketball season, recruiting people to come play in the pep bands over the holidays and things like that. That's kind of the best way to see what we're doing. We also try just to post historical facts and videos and pictures of our experiences throughout the years as alumni from the band. I think that, that's really what we do in a nutshell. I think that there are times we're called upon by Dr. Ryder or the other directors or the university to come and do other things. And those are typically more ad hoc issues. And I think we all like to step up and serve in any capacity that we can. We typically meet once a month throughout the year and get together, work on our agendas, fundraising, whatever that might be going forward. Just to kind of let you know what we are looking at into the future, I think a big priority for us is just getting more people involved year after year. Part of that is recruiting and retaining those recent graduates, but also that's reconnecting with older alumni who might have moved away. Maybe they're back in Knoxville or in the area, and trying to get them involved with the organization, whether that's throughout the year or at homecoming alone. We've set a goal to raise even more money for the band. Our development committee has really set a lofty 10-year plan, which I'm certain will meet and exceed all expectations. But we're going to be working really, I guess, intensely throughout the next decade and trying to raise a significant amount of money to help endow a lot of these scholarships that right now we're just kind of raising money year after year so that we can preserve what we've got and keep growing the excellence that is represented in the current students in the Pride of the Southland marching band. Look also, hopefully coming later this year or early in the spring of 2022, we plan to have new merchandise that we've got a hopeful modern touch on that will help also carry our brand of the alumni band and the university out into the world. So we're really excited about all these things. Again, it's really an excellent organization to be part of. I think if you asked any of us, we would all echo that it's one of the most rewarding things that we do month after month, year after year. So I encourage you to continue supporting the Pride of the Southland Marching Band in any way you can. Get involved with your alumni organization, whether you're a band member or not. Reconnecting with the university is certainly a rewarding thing, and it's really nice to just have that network of individuals, as you go through life that you can call on and they can call on you. I really appreciate you all giving me the time to talk today, and I look forward to seeing you all at homecoming.